Good afternoon. So, dear authors and invited guests, welcome to the technical session 2B. Myself, Aarti Mohan, and I would be the moderator for this session. On behalf of Global Research Knowledge Research Foundation, it's my pleasure to welcome you all to the 8th International Conference on Smart Trends in Computing and Communication, SMARTCOM 2024, Pune, India. The 8th edition of the conference is being organized in a hybrid mode. The physical event is organized in Pune, India, and the virtual event is being held through Zoom today and tomorrow, that is 12th and 13th January 2024. I hope you will enjoy the knowledgeable and interactive session throughout the day. In this session, we have 10 presentations. Each presenter will be given 8 minutes for the presentation and 2 minutes for the question and answer session round. On 7 minutes, I'll raise a gentle alarm, a reminder. There's another request to all the participants to stay connected till the closing remarks. If you have any query or update, you can write it to me in the chat box. Just before we get started, I would like you all to introduce to the session, to the chair for this session, Dr. Navneet Sharma. Navneet Sharma is a associate professor associate professor in the Department of Computer Science and IT, IIS University, Jaipur. Sir has 17 years of teaching experience of UG and PG classes. He is associated with various research associations and universities and consultancy services. His research works include researches on e-commerce, cloud computing, networks, securities. Now, I would like to start with the papers. I would invite Rachel Saveri to present his paper on analysis and prediction of the sentiments of the WhatsApp chat using sentiment analysis. Could you please start your presentation?
Sure, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. Is my screen is visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. Okay. So myself, good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Rushil Javeri, and today I'm going to the paper title as the analysis and prediction of the sentiments of the WhatsApp chat using sentiment analysis. So this is the outline of the whole project track or this presentation. So the starting with the introduction. Sentiment analysis are crucial for understanding the public opinion, especially for the social media platform like WhatsApp. So as we all know that in the today's era, we are working with the data and the information only. So to understand the sentiment behind the information is a very crucial and a very important task to achieve the online presence to the others. So that's why I have come up with this idea, and also why I have chosen WhatsApp, because WhatsApp has the very large uh, base of the user in the worldwide, other than other social media platform. And I have used the NLTK library for the natural language processing, and the Matplotlib, RE, Seaborn, Streamlit, and the Pandas for the emotion analysis. Coming with the motivation and the objective. So the sentiment analysis has gained attention in the NLP, as we know that during the last few years, the sentiment analysis has taken place a lot in the NLP field, as it does only not work with the data, but it work with the emotion of the data, and because of that, it become very useful for the world. And WhatsApp has as I previously stated, that WhatsApp has its very massive user base, and which serves the valuable data source for the understanding the sentiment and the attitude. So now the methodology. So to in this step, there are four methods. Like, first of all is the data collection. Here I'm taking the .txt file as a data so that I can predict the sentiment of that chat. Then after data cleaning is the happening, as we are as there are so many words in our WhatsApp chat which are not that much important, or they are irrelevant information. So I'm cleaning in that the pre-processor stage. Then after the sentiment analysis and the topic modeling, like which are the words which are using frequently, and based on that, I'm giving the output that whether the chat was a positive, neutral, or the negative. And also, I'm showing the user that as a visualization that what kind of the words were there which make that chat positive, negative, or neutral. So the outcome. So the main outcome of this research work is that we can able to analyze the how was the sentiment pattern of the particular chat. Also, it is very useful for the marketing team or for the any product review. Like if you are having some product review, then you cannot identify by looking at it manually. But now, if you just put your WhatsApp chat over here, you can easily find out that which users are more positive to the product and which users are more negative to the product. So we can accordingly market our product to the that user. Then the keep identifying the important subject. As I am also visualizing the data, it will help to identify the uh, using the topic modeling. Then the social network analysis and the emoji sticker usage. As we know that the emojis are the non-verbal communication, which plays a lot role in the social media, as it's all on the emotion. Now come to the significance and the application. As I previously stated that it is used for the customer feedback or the improving the customer experience. So the marketing team or the any WhatsApp group, they want to improve their strategy, their chat with the other or the product market to the people. So it will be very useful for them. Now come to the what will be the flow of the project or this work, research work. That first of all, I will take the WhatsApp chat as a data set. Then after the data evaluation will happen that what kind of data are provided, whether it is only emojis or the text with the emojis. Then after the data pre-processing, as I previously told that the data cleaning will happen and will remove all the unnecessary or irrelevant data. So that will come, that will take place in this data pre-processing stage. Then after the two simultaneous process will happen, that sentiment analysis of that process data and the frequency calculation, that's what kind of words were used frequently and what was the frequency of that word also. And then after the classification based on the sentiment analysis, that it was a positive, negative, or the neutral. And at last, I will visualize the data to the user so that they can identify and have the more clear idea about the chat. So this is the one of the demo of that I have taken one file which has the 139 messages, which shows that the what was the most busiest day, that here it is stated as a Saturday, and which was the busiest month for this whole WhatsApp chat. It's a January, and this is the activity map that at what time users were active during the day. And this is the word cloud. As I have taken the WhatsApp chat of the student group, here we can find the file attached, then the request and management team. So we can find out the keywords which are frequently used in the group so that we can easily communicate with them and we can connect with them more. And the main part of the research work is this, that more this chat was more kind of the positive. It was a negative for only 1 month. Other than that, it was showing the positive and the neutral throughout the year. So this graph will help to the marketing team or the any other group which want to know the sentiment of their WhatsApp. And this is the conclusion in the future scope. As we know that we are playing with the privacy of the user, as the all the chat will be visible to the the project. But rather than focusing on the that part, it is a more kind of the more kind of the positive way to understand the communication pattern. So the other future scope which can be
Akshat,
added over here. Yes.
uh, could you please conclude your research?
Yes. Oh, okay. So to conclusion, it is stated that it is a more kind of the positive, so that we can have the more uh, idea about our the WhatsApp chat which is provided, and will added the more languages in future, and also the live chat analysis will be added in the future. And these are the references which I have taken for this research work. Uh, okay, this is from my side. Any question?
Yes, any question from the other audience? Roshil, I have one question.
Yes.
You're working on the text or both on emojis and text,
No, I am working on both the emojis and the text, but both.
but in your analysis, you are mentioning only the words. You
Here
haven't
in the
mentioned
images.
any
Okay, so this word cloud is only for the word, but the for the emojis I am giving another, like
on the
which
next
emojis were.
next slide on the analysis part. Yes, where you have
Yeah.
mentioned the
No, here it is only based on the word. Like sentiment is only based on the word.
okay, and how you have defined the patterns, different pattern.
Like this word cloud.
In the initial slides, you have mentioned the pattern searching. So how you are identifying the or categorizing the patterns?
Okay, so in the this data pre-processing stage, I will be cleaning all the unnecessary data. Like there are some keywords which we use frequently, like the and this, like that. So I remove that. Then after NLTK library, which helps me to identify and the what kind of the communication it was, like positive, negative, or neutral. So it is having the some uh, predefined data that these kind of words are stated as a positive, these kind of words are stated as a negative. So based on that, in the cleaning part, I will be having that only data, and in the using the NLTK library, I found out that the positive data were out of 134. I am having the 98 positive data. Then 10 was the neutral, and other were
Okay,
the
okay,
negative. So
okay, okay, okay. Okay, thank you so much, Rushil. You have presented a very in a very good manner. Thank you so
thank
much.
you, sir.
Thank you, Rashil. Moving on to the next presentation, I would like to invite Akansha Asthana to present her paper on deep learning based object detection, face recognition, and tracking support model for visually challenged.
Good
Ma'am,
afternoon, everybody.
could you please start with your presentation?
Yes. I hope my screen is visible to everybody.
Yes, it is visible.
Yes. So, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Akanksha, and along with my other batchmate and under the guidance of Dr. Manu Gupta, we have been working on a project called Deep Learning Based Object Detection, Facial Recognition, and Tracking Support for Visually Challenged People. So, in this presentation, I'm going to basically highlight the main aspects of this project, the technology that we've been used, and the machine learning algorithms that we've worked on. And I'll also be discussing the results, conclusions that we have developed, and the possible future scope. So let me begin with by informing all of you as to why we've chosen this project in specific. Over 2.2 billion people globally are suffering with blindness, either full blindness or partial blindness, age related. And talking of the statistics, only in India, about 3.5 million people in India have visual impairment problems. So, to tackle these issues, we are actually working on three different models. The first one being object detection using YOLO V3, that is, you only look once. The second being face and emotion detection using convolutional neural network, that is CNN, and third being using GPS and GSM modules to help the visually impaired share their location with their loved ones. So this is our literature survey. We have carefully studied these three papers that closely highlight the same topic that we are addressing. And the drawbacks that we have noticed in this paper is that most of the devices, they are not cost friendly. They don't provide all the necessary information or the necessary facilities to the visually impaired. And three, sometimes that multiple objects in a picture, they can lead to overloading. So by the project that we are proposing, we are trying to solve all these issues. So this is the basic proposed model. So as you can see here, the car represents the object. The object is captured in real time using a web camera. The web camera then processes this image and sends it to the Raspberry Pi, which further analyzes if it has to detect the object or if it has to provide the facial recognition. And the output is provided using a 3.5 mm jack, which is, in simpler terms, the everyday headsets or everyday microphones, and this can be directly connected with the user. So every time there is an object or a face in front of their web camera, they will be notified directly with audio output in their ears. And the GPS and GSM module is an uh, additional trait that we are providing, which can help the user to securely share their data, their location, with the people they have chosen to do so with. Moving on, I'd like to discuss about how we are using YOLO V3 for object detection. So in this project, we have made a data set of over 83 images, which have been classified into 5 types: animals, furnitures and indoors, vehicles and outdoors, miscellaneous, and food items. So this data set we have created by accumulating images from over the web and compiled them together uh, in with our team. So let me explain the how YOLO V3 works with us. So we use few major Python libraries: CV2, Immultus, NumPy, Agarpass, Keras, and TensorFlow. Using this, we load YOLO V3, use the image obtained from the webcam, resize the images, process them, and then loop the same thing for all the images in front of the web camera, as in all the objects that are captured in front of the web camera. And then we apply non-maximum suppression to remove overlapping, draw bounding boxes, and each bounding box on top can have the name of the object detected, and the same will be shown to the user, and the same will be read out to the user in their microphones. Coming to face recognition and emotion detection, we use CNN, convolutional neural networks, which is nothing but is numerous layers, about 9 layers that are all accumulated together, that with the help of hierarch cascade classifiers help in emotion and object and face recognition. So in this module as well, we use the basic Python libraries, Keras and TensorFlows, and we specify them to hierarch cascade classifier, define arguments, and load it. And in this, what we do is convert the images into grayscale, detect faces, predict emotions, and in case if the user has already preloaded a specific person's image with their name, then the name of that person is also heard back to the user. So just like the previous model, this also gives us the bounding boxes and labels on top. The GPS and GSM module. So both GPS and GSM module together use the TDMA module, that is time division model, and they can help the user in sharing their real-time location So we have given two options for sharing the location. The first one is location on demand. That is, the person who wants to access the location can send an SMS, and the immediate location is sent back to them. It comes in the form of latitude and longitude coordinates. And the second one is the continuous sharing of the location. So hardware requirements. Currently, for the project that we have made in terms of the hardware, we have used Raspberry Pi 3B Plus, which has a capacity of 64-bit 4-core CPU and 1 GB RAM storage. And this Raspberry Pi is connected with a power supply, the speech output, which is nothing but the microphone, the web camera, the SIM module, and the GPS. So here are some qualitative results. So all these images, the cat, dog, giraffe, bench, car, and motorbike, these are for animals and outdoors and motor vehicles that you can see. So the user
Akansha,
can, sorry, yes.
could you please conclude your research?
Okay. So these are the
Yes.
qualitative results, as you can see, for each of the object that we have checked for. And these are the facial detection results. So you can clearly see that we can, the project can distinguish between sad, angry, neutral, and all the others. And as you can see, the three images that were taught to the model, it can recognize us by the names. So coming to the quantitative results, we have run confusion matrix on both of them and obtained 83% accuracy for object detection and 89% for facial recognition. And here are the graphs that stayed the same. And GPS results, as it's seen here, you can obtain them with an SMS and form of latitude and longitudinal coordinates. So overall, I'd like to conclude that this is the most basic model that we have proposed right now, but this has a lot of future scope considering its easy to access functionality, easily available hardware, and very simple software. And the usage that it can provide to a visually impaired person is very diverse and better than what we see in most of the proposed devices. And these are the references I have used. Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, thank you, Akanksha, for the nice presentation. I have one question. What was the data size of your practical, your experiment?
So for object detection, we have used 83 images, 83 different type of objects, which each object having over 1,000 images. And we have compiled all of them in separate folders with
Okay.
labeled each folder as the data set name, and then trained the model based on that. It is divided into 4 categories: animals, furniture in indoors, vehicles and outdoors, miscellaneous, and food items.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
Akanksha. Anybody else? Anybody wants to ask something? Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Kansha. Moving on to the next presentation. Now I would like to invite Aditi Malik for presenting her paper on design of a chatbot for relieving academic stress in adolescent students. Ma'am, could you please proceed with your presentation?
Yes, just a second.
Sure.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, now it's visible. Yes.
Okay, the topic of this study is design of a chatbot for relieving academic stress in adolescent students. I, Aditi Malik, will be presenting the study. Stress is a major reason for physical illness and psychological conditions like anxiety and depression. A survey conducted to understand Indian secondary school students highlighted that 63.5% of them stress as a result of academic pressure, 81.6% indicated experiencing exam-related anxiety, and 66% felt parental pressure for scholastic achievement. Academic stress is a very prevalent issue. 8% of suicide victims in 2021 were students, and 1% of suicides were linked to stress related to exams. Understanding this age group further, we found a UNICEF report which suggested that 15 to 24-year-olds are the most connected audience, with 71% of them being online. Looking into this, digital interventions were explored, and we realized that support received by chatbots can potentially reduce stress levels. Although chatbots lack warmth and consideration, and they often give inappropriate responses to user queries. Interviews were conducted to further understand academic stress with student counselors, parents, and students. Reasons for stress and anxiety were found to be parental pressure, self-expectation, peer pressure, and social exclusions. It was also found that parents and students may fail to understand each other, which ultimately leads to familial clashes, and unrealistic expectations from parents and self-expectations from students may contribute to academic stress. A novel integrated framework was proposed called EisenChat, which has 3 components: academic stress, chatbot, and smartphone application. An algorithm for a rule-based chatbot was proposed, and an information architecture was created for an application that would host this chatbot to create a seamless user experience. This is the chatbot, Zuko. The application can be used by students and parents, and at the end of each conversation, both of them earn points. Initially, the user gets screening questions, and the home screen features a helpline. This is the chat interface where a user can give their problems to the chatbot, and the chatbot helps them self-reflect on the problems and provides them suggestions to manage their tasks better. All these are personalized to the problem in hand. We prototyped the chatbot and we tested it with multiple users. Majority of them found the chatbot to be effective, engaging, accessible and feasible, and easy to use. They also said that they would recommend it to others, and they found it to improve their habits. Although Zuko has its limitations, it lacks emotional intelligence and may fail to understand the complexity of situations. As of now, it's a rule-based chatbot, and students who lack necessary technology may not benefit from this chatbot. In the future, we'll be making Zuko more personalized using generative models. It would also serve diverse user base by integrating multiple languages in its system. Larger data sets would be incorporated to deepen more accurate to incorporate more accurate responses, and it would also be subjected to rigorous testing procedures to enhance the overall performance. Thank you.
Okay, Aditi, you have given a nice presentation.
Thank you.
As you have mentioned that it is not for the technical persons. So how it is not beneficial for the technical persons? If they are in stress, even they can use that app.
Could you repeat the question?
Move on to the previous slides. You have mentioned that this app is not beneficial for technical persons.
So
Yes,
it's
student who lack necessary technology may not benefited from this chatbot.
So this was one of the limitations. So if it's a school student, and in a lot of schools, in all the schools in India right now, mobile phones are not allowed. So they would probably have to come home and use this application, and they cannot get stress relief at the moment. So that's one of the limitations.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much.
Problem.
Thank you, Aditi, for your presentation. Now, I would like to invite Akhilesh KR to present his paper on development of efficient forecasting model for climate resilient crop rotation based on deep learning techniques. Could you please proceed with your presentation, Akhilesh?
Yes, ma'am. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for having us here. So, my name is Akhilesh, and me, my Arya, and under the guidance of Dr. Pungurli ma'am, we have come up with a paper, Development of Efficient Forecasting Models for Climate Resilient Crop Rotation based on Deep Learning Techniques. So, outline of this presentation would be like, we'll be starting with the abstract, introduction, literature review and its limitations, architecture diagram of our project, proposed methodologies, inferences, and a conclusion and future work. So talking about the abstract, crop rotation is basically the very important methodology used in the sustainable agriculture, where a particular farmer would be rotating the crops with respect to the climate and the soil needs. And what we are doing is that in the crop rotation, climate changes are playing a very important role. And with the help of deep learning techniques, we are revolutionizing the crop rotation methodology by developing efficient classifiers to predict crop adaptability in changing climates. So in the proposed methodology, we are going to use 4 different classifiers like deep neural network, gated neural network, GRU, CNN convolution neural network 1D, and recurrent neural network. And to a short conclude that like the best model which performed very well was the GRU of 98% accuracy. So introduction, like just going through introduction, as you all know that agriculture is the backbone of our Indian economy. So every farmer has to have a very good agricultural year. So for that, he uses the crop rotation methodology in order to practice a very good yield. Such that his crops will give a very good yield. So basically, in a methodology, in a study, it aims to optimize his crop rotation through the integration of the deep learning techniques by addressing the novel changes posed by the climate changing and combining traditional practices with innovative solutions. This research integrates the like DNN, GRU, CNN1D, and the RNN networks. So literature survey, like talking about the literature survey, we have gone through almost 22 papers, and which comprise of a very huge wide array of methodologies. Most of the papers went through the concept of IoT and other machine learning techniques. And they use satellite series data and every such things, but some of the limitations were that like there wasn't any complete comparisons between the different models. And the second one was that like they only use this IoT to gather the parameters from the soil and the climate, and also that some of the papers used only the soil factors to give the crop rotation yield, or some of the papers only use the climate factors to give the particular crop rotation or the crop prediction model. So this is our architecture diagram of a proposed system. So basically, we have a crop data set which we would which we had pre-processed and just visualized for our purpose, and then we gave it through 4 different deep learning models and our own architectures, and we would predict the classification based on there are 22 different crop varieties, and the best of a model is being used actually in a proposed system. So methodologies is basically just for the first of the every deep learning model as such of data pre-processing and different forecasting models of the different four models. So talking about the data set, our data set comprises of 2,200 samples, and there are 8 different parameters which helped us to give the correct crop rotation yield, which are nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, and temperature. Like the nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus were the soil factors, and temperature, humidity, and precipitation were the climatic factors. Which helped us to give a very good crop yield prediction. So these, we evaluated a model based on 3 different metrics. As all you know that different evaluation metrics like accuracy, recall, precision, and F1 score. So these are the outcomes of our proposed model. Like there are 4 different outcomes because we have used 4 different models, and this is the outcome of the GRU model and the best perform model. As of GRU, it performed very well with an accuracy of 98%. This is the outcome graph of the just accuracy graph of the accuracy and precision and recall of the GRU graph. Second is DNN. As you all know that GRU would perform very well because of it gated network. When DNN is simply the normal deep neural network, and it performed very good, not up to GRU level, but it performed up to 92% accuracy level. And this is the outcome graph. And as to RNN, this is RNN, and this is the accuracy and the precision recall graph of RNN, which performed up to 91.82%. And CNN1D, as you all know, that performed like least of the 4, which 87.50% when 0.50%. So basically, the conclusion is that GRU performed very well out of these 4 different models. But the thing is that crop rotation in the field of agriculture plays a very important role. By incorporating deep neural network techniques with this crop rotation would help the farmers to give a very good yield. And also that our idea with the future thinking of quantum computing and all other stuffs would help us very to improve this normal CNN and RNN with on top of quantum techniques. It would help the other techniques to build up further. Thank you. And these are the references used for our paper. Any questions?
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Akhilesh ji. You have concluded in a very nice manner.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, you have any questions?
No.
Okay. So thank you, Akhilesh. Now moving on to the next presentation, I would like to invite Jyoti B for presenting her paper on efficacy of knowledge graphs to systemize primitive research methodology. Ma'am, could you please start with your presentation? Jyoti ma'am, your screen is visible, but you are not audible.
Jyoti ji, you are muted. Please check your audio.
Okay, sir, can we move on to the next presentation then?
Yes,
think
yes.
ma'am-
If there is some technical issue, then we'll take it later.
Yeah, sure, sir. Thank you. So moving on to the next presentation, I would like to invite Ram A for presenting his paper on emergency alert and adaptive traffic signal system using machine learning. Sir, could you please proceed with your presentation?
Okay. I'm Ram, and I'm here to talk on the topic emergency alert and adaptive traffic signal system using machine learning. Just imagine a city where accidents do not happen and traffic jam just melts away, and drivers receive personalized guidance through a web of connected vehicles, sensors, and artificial intelligence. This vision is driven by real-time data integration. The data from the CCTVs and sensors, RFID tag, and GPS help into accommodating the smart algorithm, predicting incidents, optimizing traffic flow, and triggering targeted alerts towards the vehicles to give way for the emergency vehicles. This can be done using the help of a machine learning algorithm, which emerges as a cutting edge solution for this problem. And talking about the problem statement here is that there are a few problems in the traditional traffic systems, such as lack of coordination and integration between multiple signals. Each signal system here works as an individual signal, and there is no synchronization between these signals, which may lead to chaotic traffic problems. And also, there is a delayed response time and ineffective targeting in alerts. The traditional alert system often reaches people too late, providing them limited information and lacks personalization. And adapting to the changing environment has not been done in this traditional traffic management system according to the current real-time traffic data. And talking about the motivation to do this particular topic is that research on this particular topic is that uh, the uh, the life-saving vehicles such as ambulances and fire trucks need to reach their destination as soon as possible, and the traffic jams due to these signals can lead to a delayed time in reaching the destination. So helping ambulance and fire trucks reach a faster destination to save the lives is the biggest motivation for us to do this project. And the challenges in the current management system, there is an inefficient traffic signal system which is outdated, fails to adapt to real-time traffic flow. And failing to adapting to real-time traffic flow can often cause many traffic contingencies. And also, as I said earlier, due to the lack of coordination and integration between the systems, there can be a hoax and a havoc in traffic management. And talking about the current system, how the current system works, the current system is known as a fixed time signal system, in which if we are present at a junction, there are 4 roads in that junction. Each road, for example, let's say gets 1 minute for the green light in that signal. All the other 3 roads get a red light, which means the one road gets opened for 1 minute and all other 3 roads get closed. For example, for a moment, imagine if the one road that gets opened in the green light has no vehicles and the other 3 lanes are full of vehicles. Then that it is a waste of time for these vehicles to be waiting in the red light without any reason. This is the major issue we are trying to address here, along with the emergency vehicles reaching their destinations as soon as possible. So machine learning algorithms that we are used here is first is anomaly detection that helps identify unusual patterns in the data streams, potentially signaling emergencies like sudden traffic spikes or abnormal sensor readings. We will also use a classic SVM. We use SVM support vector mission for classification between emergency and non-emergency vehicles based on various features like the time of the day, the GPS location of the emergency vehicle, and also its visual features. Also, we use ridge and Laszlo regression to reduce overfitting of this model, which is a common problem in machine learning algorithms. Also, we use linear regression to create a relationship between the historical data that is already present from these past few years, and the real-time data such as the sensor readings and CCTV readings, and we try to integrate them to provide a real-time traffic response. And talking about real-time data integration is very much necessary for this project to work, since real-time data integration takes care of this combining of the prehistoric data and the real-time traffic management data to predict the future as much as with accuracy as possible, and uh, you analyze the traffic accordingly. Talking about the adaptive traffic signal systems, the adaptive traffic signal systems uses sensors that are mounted on poles that track devices, their volumes, the queue length, etc. These cameras can analyze movement and even identify pedestrians so that it can adapt accordingly. It uses a real-time data traffic system which analyzes the data and then opens the signal according to that real-time data. Take the same example of a junction where there are 4 roads. If one road is free of traffic, then it closes the road by giving it a red signal and opens the road which has the most congested traffic so that the traffic can ease out of that road. This system continually learns from historical data and adapts to strategies based on changing traffic patterns, weather conditions, and even special events. The emergency alert system is a small addition to this topic. This system harnesses real-time data from sensors and even historical incident patterns, and then gives a personalized message to each neighboring vehicle that is in the surrounding of an emergency vehicle, so that it knows an emergency vehicle is approaching and can give way to it accordingly, even before the emergency vehicle comes near to that vehicle. So, benefits of adaptive traffic management, as everybody knows, it leads to reduced congestions. That means fewer stops and a smooth traffic flow and shorter travel times. Lower emissions. If there has been a less time in signals, vehicles waiting in the signals, then automatically leads to less emissions, and also improved safety so that accidents happen less often, and also a better overall driving and traveling experiences, which makes it less stressful and easy to commute for the people. Implementation considerations. There are a few considerations that need to be done for this system to be implemented in real life, such as hardware, software, and data integration and security systems. For hardwares, we use CCTVs, speed detection sensors, and RFID and GPS systems. For software and algorithms, we use adaptive traffic control software, machine learning algorithms for travel prediction and optimization, and data analytical platforms. And for integration and coordination, along with the other networks, we use real-time traffic feeds, traffic management platform, and integrated with connections in autonomous vehicle systems, which might take place in the future. And also the security, there is a need for timely maintenance of the software as well as the hardware, regular recalibration of the sensors so that it works properly. Now for the results, the results obviously, as I mentioned before, will lead to a smooth traffic flow, ensuring that not only the emergency vehicles reach their destination within the required time, but also makes the overall traffic experience less stressful and easy for the people to travel. And for the future developments, there are a few things that can be developed in the future, such as improving the accuracy and predicting of the machine learning algorithms in the future, and vehicle to everything communication, V2X communication, is that the one emergency vehicle that travels in that particular road. Yes.
Could you please conclude your research?
Okay. So in conclusion, I would say that adaptive traffic signals and emergency alerts offer a glimpse into the future where traffic flows smoothly and responds swiftly to dangers, prioritize the well-being of all citizens. So the next time you're stuck at a red light, remember smarter cities on the horizon where traffic adapts to you and not the other way around. Thank you.
Which machine learning method you have opted for your analysis?
We use a machine learning algorithms. First, we use linear regression, sir, to get all of the data we get from the CCTVs and other sensors. We integrate it and we put it in the linear regression algorithm to get a possible prediction of the traffic systems.
Okay. So have you compared your analysis with some other method?
We have compared it with the traditional traffic, like manual traffic management systems, and it has shown a better improvement than the manual systems.
Why not with other methodologies?
Actually, in our city of place, there has not been very much of a smarter traffic organization system, and we have used the most recent data.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Ram.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so for your presentation. Is Jyoti ma'am there?
Jyoti ma'am, are you ready with
She
your
was
presentation?
not able to connect. Is ma'am available?
Jyoti, are you there? Are you getting my voice? Madam Jyoti, are you getting my voice? We can continue with the next presenter.
Yeah, sure, sir. So moving on to the next presentation, I would invite Mokul Bhatnagar for presenting his paper on fintech for e-governance and MSME, leveraging fintech for inclusive digital payments in governance of MSME. So, could you please proceed with your presentation?
Yes, ma'am. Is my voice clearly audible?
Yes, it's clear. You may continue.
Yes, so the
Audible?
topic of my presentation is fintechs for e-governance and MSME for leveraging fintech for inclusive digital payments in governance of MSME. So talking about this particular topic, in today's digital age, the integration of fintech with e-governance and MSME operation has become a critical step towards economic inclusivity and modernization. So financial technologies bring a plethora of tools that can simply process, reduce cost, and enhance transparency, which are essential elements of the growth support of MSME. And by leveraging fintech for inclusive digital payments, and MSME can ensure that no business, irrespective of its size, is left behind in the digital transformation. So considering it, by leveraging fintech for inclusive digital payments, government and MSME can ensure that every business is under the umbrella of tracking payment system. So the need for integration is clear. It promises to streamline administrative processes, cut red tape, and provide MSME with the financial acumen necessary to thrive the competitive global marketplace. Moreover, digital payment facilitated through fintech can play a significant role in combating corruption, as they create a digital trail that can be monitored and audited, and thereby enhancing the governance. Moreover, the intersection of fintech, e-governance, and MSME holds the promise of more efficient, transparent, and inclusive economy. Moving ahead, this is the conceptual model that has been framed. And on this conceptual model, data is collected from respondents regarding their perception of the relation between the variables. So considering the list of variables, we will be measuring the impact of fintech for e-governance on digital literacy and financial inclusion. Moreover, we will also be seeing what is the impact of access to banking services on digital literacy and financial inclusion. On the basis of this comparison, we will be saying that which variable is relevant for promoting digital literacy through fintech for e-governance. Now, for calculating the sample size, we have used the software of G-Power Statistics, and it gave us the normal sample size of 164 in order to make the data normal after collecting it from the respondents. So to be on the safer side, we have doubled the sample size and collected the data from the respondents. And from the data collected, we will be making our analysis on the basis of these parameters. First of all, we will be calculating the path coefficient and the correlation, so that we can see that whether the two responses of a single respondent on different areas co-integrate with each other or not. Then also we will be testing construct reliability and validity with the help of Cronbach alpha, and we will be covering average variance extracted to measure the overall validity of the model that has been formulated. Now there are different variables in the model. For those, we have been going through HTMT criteria, heterotrait and monotrait responses of correlation, which can tell us whether there is discriminant validity exists in the formulated conceptual model or not. Then at last, we will be calculating standard deviation, t-value, and z-value, which all are the part of bootstrapping, which we will be conducting at the end for the purpose of hypothesis testing. Now, considering the descriptive statistics, these are the respondents from which we have collected the data. Our respondents consist of managerial and entrepreneurial class, which are giving responses on the questionnaire that has been framed. And these managerial and entrepreneurial class belongs to different industry type, so that each and every industry is covered under our sample size, which represents the population. So we ran PLS algorithm on the responses of the people, and these are the results which we obtained. And considering the tabular representation of the diagram which we have obtained, we can see that AVE, the values in the last column, are more than 0.5. So as per the literature review, we can accept these responses to draw the conclusion. All the values are greater than 0.5. Moving ahead to test the discriminant validity, that whether the constructs are different from each other or not, we have calculated the heterotrait and monotrait ratio. So all the ratios are less than 1. So we can say that construct are different from each other. Now, at last, for doing the hypothesis testing, we have run bootstrapping on the conceptual model, which gave us these results. So we can see that all variables that were part of the research were having the significant impact. All independent variables are significantly impacting the dependent variable as p-values are less than 0.05. So that's all for my research. This research signifies that when we say that we want to improve the present condition of MSME sector, we need to focus upon all these variables so that MSME sector can also fall under the umbrella of digital payments. That's all for my research. Any questions?
Okay, Mukul. Have you compared your data analysis with some other tool also?
As far as other tools are concerned, in my area, same results I will obtain if I go for other tools, because there are different softwares, but every software is working on the same formula. So formula for every software is same. So results will be absolutely similar. So there was no need of comparing through other tools. It is based on the response of the people, their perception, that whether it can lead to a particular space or not.
Okay, what was the data size of your analysis, your experiment?
There were 350 respondents.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your presentation. Next, I would like to invite Rachita K for presenting her paper on resume classification using LGBM algorithm with the sentiment analysis. Ma'am, could you please proceed with your presentation?
Yes. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
So good afternoon, everybody. Title is resume classification using LGBM and sentiment analysis. We are a team members of T under the guidance of Ms. Angelin. So this project actually involves classifying resumes into different categories. We have used LGBM algorithm and we combined it with sentiment analysis. It will be useful for the job recruiters. So using manual classification, it requires more time. When using automatic classification for resumes, it requires less time only. So the scope of the project is to collect the data set containing resumes of candidates in text format. We have collected about 963 resumes in text format. By categorizing resumes with respect to job titles and sentiments, organizations can create more tailored matches between job openings and candidates, resulting in better hires and improved employee retention. So okay. Like in today's objective job recruitment, HRs will take more time. It will be challenging if they have a lot of resumes have accumulated. So using this one, it'll be like it'll take only less time. Sentiment and we have improved this project by using sentiment analysis. It gives a personal touch in this project, which has been a drawback in the other papers. So we have combined it with the LGBM algorithm. So for the literature survey, we have took 9 papers. After going through all the 9 papers, we have seen that sentiment analysis was the biggest drawback in every paper. So we wanted to give a personal touch to this. So we added sentiment analysis. So what is the problem status that the current resume classification process is manual, leading to time delays in processing a high volume of resumes. So human reviews may introduce bias and inconsistency, while using automated classification. Consistency will be more and accuracy will also be more. So automated classification will be a better use for HRs and job recruiters. A manual classification is prone to errors. When comparing to automated classification, errors will be less and errors will be less, and the time taken will also be reduced. And in manual classification, they can miss out some important information. While using automated classification, all the information will be used. As the number of application increases, manual process becomes less manageable. Thus, there is a need for automated resume classification system to address these challenges. So this is the architecture diagram. What we did is we collected data and we did the NLP techniques, that is for data pre-processing, to reduce the noise in the data set. After cleaning the data set, we have imported necessary libraries. For LGBM, we have imported LGBM algorithm, and then we have done the classification. After that, we have for sentiment analysis, we train the model using SVM classification, and then based on sentiment analysis, we have seen the positive and negative scores. We have in implementation, first step is data collection. We have gathered labeled resume for various job openings. We have collected like 963 resumes in text format. And after that, what we have done is data pre-processing. In data pre-processing, is first step is we have done lower casing. We have converted all the upper cases to lower cases to attain homogeneity. After that, we have removed all punctuations, unnecessary details, links, all those to reduce the noise. And then we have performed tokenization, and we also removed common stop words such as and, use, all those words. All those words. After that, what we have done is label encoding, convert a job category into numerical values so that the machine learning model will be more can uh, can understand the data set more easily. After that, vectorization, we have transferred the textual data into numerical features. And then we have focused on the top 1,500 terms for the model accuracy. And then for classification, we have imported LGBM algorithm. This LGBM algorithm has not been used in the previous paper. So this algorithm is a new one. Also, after that, we have trained the model on resume text and job category labels. After that, the resumes have been classified like data science or Hadoop or HR, whatever the name of the job is. And then for sentiment analysis, integrate sentiment analysis using Veda to understand emotional tone. Using this Veda, it gives the positive count and a negative score. For this, we have used SPM classifier. SPM classifier to categorize resumes as positive or negative based on the sentiment scores. After that,
Ma'am?
access engine.
Ma'am, could you please conclude your research?
Yes. This is the output of this, and this is the scores, both negative scores and positive scores on based on the sentiment analysis. And these are the reference paper. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Next participant.
Okay, sir. So, thank you, ma'am. Now I would like to invite S. Karthik for presenting his paper on UNet-based deep regression network architecture for single image, super resolution of license plate image. Sir, could you please proceed with your presentation?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. So myself, Karthik, a research scholar, doing my full-time research under the guidance of Dr. N. Muthukumaran from Sri Ishwar College of Engineering, Coimbatore. So my topic is unit-based deep regression network architecture for single image super resolution of license plate images. So the objective of my research is to enhance a low resolution images for particularly recognizing the characters. So I have concentrated on the license plate image. So here to show the difference of the low resolution to from the high resolution, I am showing one image of a lion. So here you can see the difference. If the image is enhanced, while zooming it, we can clearly see its eye from the low resolution image to the high resolution image. So these are the literature I have studied during my research. So most of the research in the literature they have concentrated on a super resolution by using the reference image directly or indirectly, and they have attained a reasonable PSNR and RSMB with SSIM value. So my concentration is to use a unit architecture to attain a better performance in terms of ESNR and SSIM. So my process flow of the proposed work is contained to three stages. Initially, as usual in every image processing work, I use the pre-processing to resizing the images to maintain the uniformity of every image size. Before processing it in the deep net, I resize it. Then I have proposed. This is my initial research work. So I have used one RegNet regression network with 50 layers. It's a U-shaped regression networks. I have concentrated, means I have designed a U-shaped regression network for the purpose of image super resolution. So this is the architecture I am trying to propose. So here you can see a U-shaped network. Here we have two portions. So the left side is used for the down sampling. That mostly use the convolution blocks or the convolution layers for extracting the features. Then the right portion having is used for the upsampling. So there we are using a RCAB, residual channel attention block. This is a major block for upsampling or the enhancing the features to make it's a so high quality one, the image to be a enriched one. So this is the function, internal architecture of the RCAB block. This is actually a major block used in most of the super resolution techniques. Here, as in normal deep learning, here it also contains convolution and ReLU layers of almost 7 layers. So for making the enhancement. So this is the functionality of the convolution layer. As we know, the convolution layer is a major block used in most of the deep learning algorithm for employing the images. If you are using an image data set, we are using a convolution layer is most convenient for extracting the features or processing the features. So then I have used the ReLU layer as an activation function. Hello?
So could you please conclude your research?
Okay. So this is the major block. This is the results and discussion. So I have implemented it on a GPU based Intel system. So with a 8 GB of GPU process. So I have implemented the system in 3 data sets. So these are the algorithm existing techniques I have used for the comparison. So the results obtained by the different algorithm is here. So this is the performance. In addition to the super resolution performance, I have compared the deep learning performance like accuracy, precision, recall. So while the comparison from the comparison and the analysis, I come to know that the regression based network provided better results comparing to the performance from the literature techniques. So it should be enhanced in the future with some more layers. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, you have any questions?
No, from my side. Thank you, Mr. Karthik.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Now moving on to the next presentation, I would like to invite Vijay Kumar Bharti S for presenting his paper on unraveling the impact of IT-enabled omni-channel retail experiences on consumption value and customer patronage. Sir, could you please proceed with your presentation?
Yes, ma'am. Sure. Thank you very much. Right. So very good afternoon to you all and wish you all a very happy and prosperous new year. So I'm Vijay Kumar Bharati, along with my co-authors, Kanchan Pranay Patil and Danya Pramod from the Symbiosis Center for Information Technology, are glad to present our research paper titled Unraveling the Impact of IT-enabled Omnichannel Retail Experiences on Consumption Value and Customer Patronage. So a quick look at the abstract. So as we know, omnichannel distribution blends both the offline and online environments, which is a modern innovation in the retail industry. We applied two theories, stimulus organism and response, and the consumption value theories. And we investigated how IT-enabled omnichannel customer experience will impact customer values, consumption values, and customer patronage intentions. So we used a standardized questionnaire through an online survey of about 357 experienced omnichannel customers. The study employed partial least squared structural equation modeling, which we call it as PLS-SEM, and we used it in the SMARTPLS tool to test or validate our research hypothesis, which emerged out of the conceptual model. We found that the IT-enabled omnichannel customer experience significantly impacted certain critical values, which include functional, emotional, and epistemic. Whereas, interestingly, we found there was no influence on the social and conditional values. And in addition, we found functional, emotional, epistemic, and social values impacted customer patronage behavior, while conditional value does not. So to say, conditional value was not impacted by IT-enabled omni-channel customer experience, and conditional value did not also impact the customer patronage. Right. So as you know, this is an important juncture that we are talking about omni-channel experience. So as we know, we have different types of electronic gadgets that orchestrates customers to a new level of experience. But at the same time, they also present new opportunities as well as challenges to the retailers. As we know that the physical and the online channel characteristics actually blur, and they are actually going to integrate with each other, which we call it as the omni-channel approach. It will create a cohesive customer experience across all channels, both online and offline. What is important? Personalization or customization to each and every customer on his or her likes and dislikes and product offering, and cost optimization are possible due to IT resources, cost effectiveness, and easier access to big data through cloud computing. So like this, you will find different types of channels come together in order to bring customer a seamless experience. Right. So based on this backdrop, we found the need for an empirical investigation to understand IT-enabled omni-channel retail experiences and how they affect customer value. Because we believed that the research will help not only academia, but also the practitioners who are from the industry and organizations to improve their tactics to boost customer happiness and loyalty. Right. So how did we do that? We framed two research objectives: to analyze the impact of IT-enabled omni-channel retail experience on consumption value, and then facilitating role of consumption value in the relationship between IT-enabled omni-channel retail experiences and the customer's patronage. So we found that if we can blend two very relevant and widely accepted theories, then we will be able to address the objectives in a convincing manner. So you can see here there are two theories. One is the theory of consumption values, and the other one is the stimulus, organism, and response theory. Right. So a quick understanding about the literature review. As you know, the theory of consumption value describes consumer behavior. It contains a bouquet of values, which includes functional, social, emotional, epistemic, and conditional aspect. So unless otherwise, you need to understand each one of them. You will not be able to convincingly understand how the modern market philosophy is value driven. So it has got a major impact on theory and practice because the understanding of TCV holds good, as I said earlier, not only in academia, but also to understand consumer behavior from a retail marketer's standpoint. So we examined this particular theory. And on the other side, we have the SOR theory, which is also used to understand offline and online retail behavior. As we know, S represents the environmental stimuli. O is the person's internal state. Here we mean the customer's internal states. And the R represents the subsequent behavior or the response. Right. So we use these two to bring about our conceptual model, which you are seeing here. So the digital omni-channel customer experience concept has been aligned with the stimulus part of the SOR theory. While what you see in the center is the different components of the consumption value theory. And on the right-hand side, what you see is the target or the outcome variable, which is again aligned with the response component of the SOR theory. So then we try to understand why this particular model is relevant based on the existing literature that is available. So there are certain important expectations. There is social media, there is community discussions, easy transitions between one channel and another channel, very competitive customer service. Customers' experiences are captured to cherish or to perish by marketers. So there are several things that are excitingly happening, which you and me are experiencing on a day in and day out basis. So we wanted to understand how this can be made possible. Right. Based on this, we gave the hypothesis. So the hypothesis that you see here is based on the model that we bring in here. So,
Sir, could you please
yes,
conclude your
yes,
research?
yes. So from, you can see H1A talks about the experience on the consumption values, and H2 series on your right-hand side talks about how the consumption value is going to impact the customer patronage. Now, to conclude by stating the research methodology and analysis, I would like to invite my colleague Kanchan Pranay Patil to take over. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. So the methodology which we followed was a survey methodology. We did an empirical research where we collected the primary data of the consumers to understand how the digital omni-channel experience is impacting the consumption values, and further the consumption values are going to impact the customer patronage. So we emailed the survey questionnaire through the social media, and we collected the data across pan-India. Snowball sampling was used to collect the responses. We floated approximately around 450 questionnaires, out of which we received 357 complete questionnaires, which were fit for the further analysis. The questionnaire which we developed was through the adapted scale. So the literature, the previous literature related to omni-channel customer experience, consumption values, and customer patronage. All these previous research papers were used to make the scales for the measurement. All the constructs were measured on a Likert scale. It was a 7-point Likert scale. And the data analysis tool which we had used was SmartPLS 4.0. So using SmartPLS 4.0, we did the inner model assessment and the outer model assessment, which is also called as measurement model as well as the structural model. You can see that the topmost table is showing me the measurement model. The measurement model, all the construct measurements are fitting within the required benchmarks. So the We measured the Cronbach alpha, we measured the composite reliability, and we measured the average variance extracted. So the construct reliability as well as the scale validity was established. Further, the second table shows the construct discriminant validity. So we used the Fornell and Larker criteria, where again the square root value of the average variance extracted seen in the diagonals was more than the inter-construct relationship. Further, the next table was the hypothesis testing, which we had done. So as you can see, in this particular table, what we could understand is customer experience could create basically the functional value, emotional value, and epistemic value. However, the customer experience could not create the social value as well as the conditional value. Further, the conditional value could not impact the customer patronage. Yeah.
Ma'am, could you please conclude the
Yes.
research?
So these are the results, as I mentioned. And as we have understood that the conditional value and the social value was not driven by the customer experience. And this may be because technology adoption is more often individual, decision. So probably the social value was not driven. Further, even the conditional value was not driven by the customer experience. Maybe it is because specific products, specific services, or specific conditions faced by the customer leads to the conditional values. Coming to the theoretical and the practical implications. So our study had theoretical implications. Here we combined both the consumption value theory as well as the stimulus organism response theory together to explain better how the customer patronage could be driven. Further, our study has strong managerial implications. It could be helpful to the retail managers. It could be helpful to the marketers to create better omni-channel experiences. It can make them understand which particular value among functional value, emotional value, epistemic value, social value, and conditional values are really important, and appropriate omni-channel touchpoints could be created to create a better customer patronage. So coming to the conclusion, to summarize our study, can enable the retail managers and the marketers to get better engagement with the customers. Also, we have applied the blended theory approach where customer consumption value theory and the stimulus organism response theory are together amalgamated. So thank you, and we are open for the questions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kanchanji and Ravi Kumarji. Thank you so much for the nice presentation.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. So you have any questions?
No, ma'am. No from my side.
Okay. Jyoti, ma'am, are you there?
Thank you
Yes,
very much.
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Could you please start with your presentation?
Okay, ma'am.
Jyoti ji, try to complete your presentation within the given time.
Okay, sir. My topic was efficacy of knowledge graphs to systematic primitive research methodology. My paper focused on the review domain. For every nation, the research is a strongest pillar of every nation. So research is crucial for every person, and it helps in ensure our safety and comfort. And every research takes years of studies, investigations, and experimentations. So even an expert person can also face some difficulties in pinpointing the research gap or identifying in which methodology is used to solve this problem. So every research, each research has some initial steps to find that problem, and then do some literature reviews, and then propose some new methods and different methods used in that paper. So identifying experts, related purpose, and interdisciplinary works are some phases of initial stage of that research work. So we have a
knowledge-based system that uses the research errors in identifying their research area and their work. So my paper is focused on this problem, and this is a review paper which reviews on recommending experts in the corresponding domain and a systematic literature review, and finally the hotness prediction of that topic. These all topics which deals we use as a common technology, which is a knowledge graph. A knowledge graph is a graph data that stores and shares the information about the physical worlds. Like other cards, the graphs, a knowledge graph also include nodes which represent the entities of our interest, and their edges which represents the relations, and all nodes have the same weight. So knowledge graph is very useful in recommendation systems, question answering systems, information retrieval, teaching and healthcare, and so on. So what is a knowledge graph? Knowledge graph, this is an example for the knowledge graph. Here I am taking research as my topic. So every research contains some reference papers. So this is a bibliographic knowledge graph which contains the node. These are some nodes: no publication, keyword, category, database, citation count, year. Is if I take a publication as node, each publication has some keywords, a category type, which belongs to which database, and citation count, and which year it is published. So these are the nodes, and then each nodes store some information like this. Means publication means it keeps the related data like author's name, abstract, title, URL, keywords, and years of publication means it's when it is published, and publishers, details, citations, applications, like this. So first we have to review on expert or advisor recommendation system. So first we have to scrap the data from Google Scholar, and using some NLP algorithms we validate the data, and then this data is taken as the nodes of our knowledge graph, and this knowledge graph is processed using some cipher query language that is used in Neo4j. Neo4j is a graph database which where we can easily extract the information using some cipher query languages that is in the form of any text, or it may be visualized as the subgraph that is used in the expert advisor system. And next is automatic systematic literature survey, which is also using the same method. We are extracting the data from different databases like IEEE, Spindling, like this, and we are processing this data using some Python libraries, and using some NLP algorithms. We are extracting the entities, and which will be stored in the CSV file, and from this CSV file we are creating knowledge graph, and using some cipher language queries we are extracting the valid informations. And then the third one is hotness prediction of scientific topics. Here also we use the bibliographic knowledge graph that is already as shown as an example, which is also subject to the hotness prediction, and it also takes knowledge graph as well as some more measures like topic rank, paper rank, author rank, and venue rank, and these measures are also included in the knowledge graph, and then we are predicting the hotness of our topic. So these for the conclusion, knowledge graphs are easily, we can analyze a big data, and we can easily store informations and retrieve information as well as, and these informations are very accurate for populating our knowledge information. And knowledge graph serves as a source of publication information, specialist informations, and using some similarity measures we can strong our knowledge graphs, and bibliographic metrics is also used in knowledge graph for finding the significance of our articles. And if we are doing some NLP and deep learning algorithms with this knowledge graph, we can more precisely extract the contents more. Thank you. These are the definitions.
Thank you, ma'am. So you have any questions?
No from my side.
Okay, so we are left with two more presentations. Actually, they were unable to present it earlier. in the last presentation. So can we take up the same?
Okay.
Okay, so
Give them time for 6 minutes to conclude their.
yeah, sure, sir. Okay. So I would like to invite J. Jyotishwari for presenting her paper on enhancing dysarthria detection, harnessing ensemble model and MFCC. Ma'am, are you here?
Yes, ma'am, I am present. Can you see my screen, ma'am?
No, not yet. Could you please share it once again?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, are you here?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But I can't share the screen, ma'am. Shall I share my information, ma'am, by voice?
Just a second. Ma'am, you can start with your presentation. You can share your piece of information. In the meanwhile, we will try to share your presentation. Okay?
Okay. Shall I start, ma'am?
Yeah.
We can continue with the next presenter.
Sir, I'm ready, sir. Shall I start, sir? Sorry,
Okay,
sir.
okay,
But
okay.
but your PPT is not actually visible. That's why I was.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. I can't share it, but shall I share my information alone, ma'am? Please, ma'am. Shall I start, ma'am?
Could you please share your presentation with the with Binal? She is my co-host.
Ma'am, shall I mail? Shall I mail?
Yeah. You can mail it. We can
PPT,
take your presentation. We can take your presentation next. So I'll proceed with the other one. In the meanwhile, could you please share your presentation with Binal? Okay, Binal. She is here in the. You can mail it to her, or you can write it in the download. Send it through the chat. Okay. So in the meanwhile, I'll ask Diana. Ma'am, are you here?
See, I'm here. I
Okay.
will share my screen.
Okay, ma'am. Could you please share your presentation and proceed with the same?
Okay, I will start. Okay. Hello to everyone. I'm Diana Pavlova. I'm PhD student in the Technical University of Varna, and today I want to presenting my document for synergizing artificial intelligence and human factors in hybrid intelligence dentistry for automatic prototyping. With my team, we work with Tihomir Dobromadzeyev, Dimu Daskalov, Ivan Pev, Nikolai Mirchev, Rosalina Dimova, and Yulia Radeva. This presented is work from collaboration between Technical University and Enterprise Dental Clinic and Bulgarian Association for Human Factors. The first point of my presentation is abstract, and the point what include this article bridges theory and practice, spotlighting the power of synergy between artificial intelligence and human factors within the context of hybrid intelligence dentistry. The theoretical underscore the transformative potential of this collaboration in the realm of automatic prototyping using 3D printing and computer numeral control. Technology, the practical aspect the practical aspect embodied by the state-of-the-art of AI software with the technology capacity to bring the theoretical principle to tangible reality of experience by diagnostic CAT, as that selected state-of-the-art software DiagnoCAT read combine computer tomography CBCT scan with high pressure, generating comparative 3D model and converting them into the critical STL file. This article serves as more than an intellectual exercise. It is a testament to the potential of modern dentistry. Though the utilization of DiagnoCAT, the selected state-of-the-art software, it proposes dental practice into the future, significantly benefiting the global dental community. The article aims to enhance precision and efficiency in dental care, advising the field and post-impact stakeholders for the dental professional to patient using in a new era of healthcare innovation and progress. Second point is my introduction. Here, the hybrid intelligent dentistry HIT. It's interesting. Characterized by the synergetic collaboration of artificial intelligence and human factor, represent a significant advancement with the dental field, supported by automated prototyping methodology. HIT seamlessly interface with Industry 5.0 and Society 5.0 framework. The theoretical foundation of HIT is intercatally interwoven with automatic prototyping, predominantly utilizes 3D printing, and computer numeral control, CNC technology, thereby efficient transformative change in dental prototype standard. In the practical implementation of HIT's theoretical principle, DiagnoCAT emerges a state-of-the-art software beyond conventional compatible capabilities. DiagnoCAT assessment of digital artisan, curiously, this app hearing intercat date set accurate for combined computer tomography scan.
Ma'am?
Artificial intelligence and human factor represent two essential facets.
Sorry to interrupt you, Diana. Your slides are not moving.
Okay. State of the art of HIT technology.
Try to conclude your work within 2 minutes.
Sorry?
Ma'am, could you please conclude your research?
Okay. State of the HIT technology include DiagnoCAT software, 3D printing, computer numeral control CNC machine, combined computer tomography, intraoral scanner, driver treatment planning software. This is the HIT technology. Third point is human factors in HIT. What do you mean? Clinical expertise, empathy and communication, ethical decision-making, individualist care, multidisciplinary collaboration, decision-making in complex case, limited processing, and variability. Methods, this is point by point. First is scanning, second is transfer and preparation, IE analysis third, 3D model generation, STL file, 3D printing, post-processing, and clinical application. And this is the industry example. This is show the jaw teeth models DiagnoCAT software and Newton CBCT scan. Explain apparent lower jaw and with the result after DiagnoCAT. Dentistry example, figure 2 is 3D digital jaw teeth models. This is generate STL file from DiagnoCAT with separate teeth and bone. And this is the final.
Excuse me, ma'am, could you please conclude your research?
Okay, and this is the final result. Conclusion, the importance of HIT is an ability to harmonize the strength of the both AI and human factors, creating a comprehensive approach to dental care. HIT ensures patients receive precise and efficient diagnostic and treatment while benefiting from the care provided by human practitioners. The fusion elevates the standard of dental care underlying HIT pivotal in the evolution of dental practice and potential to improve patient outcomes and healthcare efficiency. The article presents the process of applying AI in dental practice, through which 3D printing model with a real geometric shape. And my acknowledgement to the organization again. It's to project and to association. Reference, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Diana. Thanks for
Thank
the
you,
nice
ma'am.
presentation.
Okay.
Jyotishwari ma'am, are you here? Hello? Ma'am, could you please share your presentation?
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, you are
Yes.
audible. Jyotishwari ma'am, please share your screen.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Sir, I can't share my screen, sir. Shall I explain my topic?
Okay, you can continue with your voice. If presentation is not shared.
Okay, sir. Shall I start, sir?
Yes, you may start.
Good afternoon to all. Okay, sir. Thanks, sir. Good afternoon to all.
Have
My
you
topic is
mailed your
about enhancing
PPT?
disappear direction and adherence. Yes, sir. I have preferred, but some problems in systems, so I can't share it, sir. But I have prepared that, sir.
Okay, okay. You can continue.
Individually, shall I mail to the? Okay,
Ma'am, the
sir. My
presentation
topic
that
is
you
about
have shared.
enhancing disappear reduction adherence. Yes, ma'am. Hello.
The
Your voice is breaking.
presentation that you have shared, ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I can hear.
The presentation that you have shared, yeah, the presentation that you have shared in the chat box, it is only having one slide. So have you made the presentation, because we are only able to, see one slide only.
Yes, ma'am. But I have prepared the other slides, or I can't able to show the in the screen, ma'am. Especially, I will mail to you, ma'am. But I can
Okay.
explain the further.
Oh,
Shall I start, ma'am?
okay, ma'am.
Shall I
Okay,
start,
please.
ma'am?
Yeah, sure. You can start. Yeah, sure. Start.
Okay, ma'am. Dysphagia, it is one of the neuromuscular disease. It involves difficulties with articulation, respiration, resonance, phonation, and prosody. Dysphagia management and treatment can be guided by the early accurate diagnosis, especially the speech therapists traditionally use perceptual assessment and diagnosis the disease. An objective analysis of the speech features can be performed using the automated method based on the machine learning. We have collected the Targo database used to classify the dyslexic speech. Because in dyslexic control subjective multi-frequency capsular coefficient MFC are extracted. Normalizations of data is performed and trained and tested. Tested are separated. 3 models are used in this technique. They are artificial neural network ANN, ensemble convolutional neural networks, ensembling artificial neural networks. The working highlights the promising potentials of automated speech by employing state-of-the-art machine learning techniques. Then we can see the introduction. The disorder of this muscular control over the speech mechanism referred as a dysarthric is a speech disorder. It includes a palsy, Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, strokes, and parametric brain injuries. The speech productions can be swallowed inaccurately or delayed when the impairment affects the respiratory pronunciation, resonance, and the articulation proficiency. A neurological disorders of 25 to 45% of the patients with this disease, must be diagnosed artically, assessed and treated effectively. Machine learning technique of the automating speech recognition and classifications are promising tools. The TAGO database, which has contained a recording of Parkinson's disease patients as well as health controls, it is one of the largest database available. Deep learning methods shows the significant performance in detecting disorder from a speech features. Two data subsets are used, one containing the normal speech, the other containing the dysarthric affected speech. The MEL frequency MFCC features from the samples are three models that are ANN, CNN, and ENN are used. These are used by finding the accuracy of 83% of accuracy. Research objectives: explore dysarthric speech reduction speech sample using ensampling model MFC futures, extraction, ensampling predictions, extraction analysis MFC futures, extraction and analysis of MFCC for a dysarthric speech samples, develop ensemble models. A conventional neural network classifier and artificial neural network classifiers can develop the trained as ensembling models for the dysarthric classifications. Literature review. We can see a few literature review to go through the topic related to the topic. There are many review papers which has done by the many authors are available related to this paper based on the speech linguistics using NLP approach to detect languageal differential CNN Parkinson disease. The limitation of these papers are focused only on the dysarthria. Small samples were collected, limited of the clinical interviews, special Tamil, English language dysarthric speed database tests are only involved in this. So research gap and limitations in this we have followed are small size of data set, fewer of 100 subjects only they have studied, speakers would more robust. Model optimizations, hyperparameters tuning are lacking. Comparing different studies are difficult due to lack of standard benchmarks or evaluation. Proposed work by MFC extractions, rigorous processing is applied to ensure the quality of the data. Classified database ensemble CNN and ensembling ANN modules are applied. In this, they have divided into training and testing data set, extract audio files and pre-processing set of removed missing values. Futures are normalized and classification spaces influences samples ensampling predictions. Research gap limitation, noisy data may be mislabeling data of predictions and the complexity is a decision-making clinicals. Audio futures. In this audio futures, we can find the labs in the dysarthric speech affected patients and normal patients. To find out the correct audio visualizing, we are using the neurons as a MFC by extracting the MFCs. We have used MFC. MSc 1 to MSc 12. MSc C1 contains the loudness, then C3 involves the vocal tract length, while the C2 captures the high and low frequency. Likewise, we have collected this C3 up to C2 level of the MFCs. Then classification. In this classification, to avoid the noisy and the gap between the data, we have followed the TAGO database up to 72. Yes, ma'am.
Could you please conclude your research?
Sure, ma'am. Okay, thank you. A permission result has been obtained in our research. Our automated dysarthria speech detection machine learning technique is a particular ensembling artificial neural networks are considered critical for the identifying dysarthria and speech based on finding of the studies. As impressive, 83.3% accuracy rate was achieved by our ensembling ANN models, demonstrating its effectiveness in identifying normal and dysarthric speech samples. Depending on how our research is applied in future, it will open a wide range of applications and research directions. Telehealth and applications that automated dysarthric detections offer real-time speech quality assessment and remote monitoring of the patient's speech. The integration of the real-time analysis to these practical applications can be explored in further research over the coming years. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for your presentation. Sir, you have any questions?
No, not from my side. Thank you, Jyotishri.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for my
Okay.
presentation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. This brings us end to the presentations. I sincerely thank our authors for their excellent presentations and contributions in this session, and all our participants for being a part of this international conference. I hope this session was informative enough. We, on behalf of the whole team, thank you for the support during this 8th version and the previous 7 versions of the conference. We'll be happy to have you in the 9th version in 2025. All the presenters would be getting their digital certificates through email within 2 working days. Further, all the papers have been already forwarded to the stranger. The publication will be live within 6 months. Kindly cooperate with the team of SMARTCOM 2024. I also thank our session chair, Dr. Navneet Kumar, sir, for chairing the session. A token of appreciation to the chair on behalf of Team SMARTCOM 2024 and Global Knowledge Research Foundation and partners. Thank you, sir.
So much.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable presence. So would you like to conclude with your remarks?
Yes. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me for the sharing the session. Thank you, Team GR Foundation. All the participants have given very good presentations on various topics. It boosts up our knowledge on different areas, different fields. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Now I would kindly request you all to switch on your camera for a quick snapshot of the virtual presentation. Everyone, please switch on your camera. I would request everyone to please switch on their cameras. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe and take care. Thank you all.